Want to play Settlers without feeding the evil Ubisoft empire? What if I told you that Pioneers of Pagonia is really Settlers 8? Watch on and find out. My name is Thoraxe, and this is Strategy for Busy People. If you've got a few minutes, I'll tell you what to play. Pioneers of Pagonia by Envision Entertainment isn't shy about what it is. The very opening of the promo video is, quote-unquote, from the creator of The Settlers. I put almost 10 hours into figuring out what it actually is. And I have to say that, it feels exactly like The Settlers. I have a lot of hours in the early Settlers games. I couldn't tell you which the last one I played was. Maybe it was 3 or 4. But the very moment you start out playing Pioneers of Pagonia, you will know exactly where this game's history came from. Now, there are certain bits of that aspect that you might find infuriating. This game is quite German in its literal nature about certain things, but that's part of the charm, really. Each game starts out basically the same. You show up on a ship and have, some settlers in it. You are given a good smattering of starting tools and equipment and food and jobs, and you have to get right to settling. One of the interesting and well-maintained aspects of Settlers is that in Pagonia, you have the same system of using a combination of explorers to explore the map and guards or garrisons to expand your borders. It feels a little RTS-y in the sense that the border expansion is a first-come, first-served process. Whoever expands their borders into an area first wins that area. We'll come back to the concept of quote-unquote win in a little bit. The production chain aspect of the game is alive and well, and the systems are quite thorough. Farms can grow wheat, which is turned into flour at the windmill and then turned into bread at the bakery, and people can eat the bread. Pretty much every production chain-based builder game has this exact sequence of items and buildings. But where Pagonia takes it a little further is that your farmers need sickles in order to do their farming. Once you run out of the initial lot of farmers and sickles, you have to make more. In order for average people to become farmers, they need a guild hall where they can learn their trade. And you'll need sickles to be available for them to pick up. Sickles are made at the tool shop, but the tool shop needs iron or copper as a base input to make them. And then you'll also need wood and coal on top of that. Wood comes from woodcutters, and coal comes from coal miners. But one of the most critically important things in the game is that resources on the map are finite. A stack of rocks will have a fixed number of units in it. Once that is extinguished, the stack disappears. Mining products are non-renewable. Now, trees can be renewed by the forester, but this also requires water from a well. Guess what the well requires? Stone. I mentioned the guard towers and garrisons earlier. Well, those buildings house, you guessed it, guards and soldiers. Again, you can get an initial allotment depending on the game settings. But once you run out, you have to figure out how to make more. Do you see where this is going? Crappy guards just require wooden lances, which are made at the woodmaker's shop. But you need a training camp to, train the guards. There are also different unit types, as well as different levels of units, like Advanced and Veteran. The higher level units can do more damage, but as you might expect, require fancier goods to equip. The fancier goods require deeper production chains. That veteran soldier needs an iron sword, an iron shield, and a suit of chainmail armor. Those last two items are made by the armorsmith and weaponsmith, respectively. But those buildings require a new material, concrete. Concrete is made from limestone, which is mined in the quarry, but must be processed at the stone mill. Each of these buildings has certain production timings, as well as input and output chains. Generally speaking, at least at this phase of early access, everything consumes one of each type of input to produce one output. This could change going into the future as the developers continue to tweak and balance things. While the game is in early access, it's clear from the Discord and the releases that they are staying on top of things and continuing to progress. Between April and May, they added co-op multiplayer as well as a pretty big quality of life overhaul. Maybe we'll get player versus player multiplayer as well. Who knows? Don't let the early access fool you. This game is very complete as it stands today. Sure, there's room for improvement. One system I found bewildering and annoying was the system of meals for your settlers. The tavern makes meals, but meals need to be served at special tables near a special fountain, and market stalls are required too. And homes. It's unclear how all the different food-related resources come together to make a meal, and this system of meal making is totally non-transparent and unlike any of the other production chains in the game. I did leave feedback that it would be nice if the tavern/meal system were like the other production chains, and that feedback did get several upvotes on their Discord. We shall see in Vision Entertainment. Also, circling back again to guards and soldiers in different unit types, there is some lightweight combat in this game. Now, I only played in modes where the other settlements were to be befriended and were not enemies, and bandits and thieves were the extent of the enemies. The different unit types have different buffs or penalties depending on who they are interacting with. Guards may go outside your borders, which is critical to expanding them, but soldiers will not. But soldiers get certain buffs against enemy units that guards don't. Rangers can expose thieves to prevent them from stealing, but guards and soldiers cannot. There are apparently also werewolves and specters, which require their own special unit types to defeat, and unsurprisingly, those unit types have special equipment you need to produce. I didn't play in any mode with these creatures. You can always turn off the enemies and have a totally relaxing city builder experience. Or you can crank up the difficulty and have the AI totally aggro you. It's your choice. And I didn't even get into the random map generator, which likely provides a near-infinite level of replayability, although I'm sure the RNG may give you a really terrible map on occasion. Before I give my final verdict, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to share it with your friends. Agree with me, disagree with me, or want to see other content? Let me know in the comments below. Want to try this game yourself? Check out my humble affiliate link below. And if you want to support me in making more of these videos, become a patron on Patreon. Your support really makes a difference. The final verdict. If you are a Settlers fan, Pioneers of Pagonia is the Settlers 8 you wish that you got from Ubisoft, but didn't. Even for being so early in early access, the game feels very complete and seems like it will only get better with time. New features and systems are coming, but none of what isn't there today seems like a showstopper. The game is likely only to get better over time, but there is a risk that Envision Entertainment does some boneheaded things that they may or may not end up walking back. If you're okay with dealing with the upgrade train that inevitably you will have to ride on, it's probably worth your time. The graphics are super cute, too. On my trademark 3-point score scale of avoid, meh, and I forgot to eat, I may have run out of raspberries and porcinis to make those comfort meals to grow my population, but fortunately, I had all the ingredients to make my real pot pie just fine. This game is so good, I almost skipped the pot pie in favor of takeout, but don't worry, I can get a mean Schweinshaxe delivered